There is a heaviness in denial, a weight that presses down on your spirit and clouds your vision. It is the kind of burden you carry silently, so accustomed to its presence that you forget what it feels like to be free. Denial is a shield you raise against the world, believing it will protect you from pain, but in truth, it is a cage. And with every passing moment you spend inside it, the shadow you fear grows larger, darker, more relentless. Denial tells you that you're fine when you're falling apart. It convinces you to plaster on a smile, to hide the cracks forming in your foundation, to pretend the ache in your chest isn't real. Denial whispers that you're in control, that you can keep suppressing your pain and nothing will break. But deep down, you know it's a lie. You know because the cracks are spreading, and no matter how hard you try to ignore them, they are there, waiting to give way. The shadow you deny doesn't disappear. It manifests in the spaces where you feel lost, in the cycles that repeat themselves no matter how much you wish they wouldn't. You feel it in the relationships that wound you, in the doubts that plague you, in the quiet moments when you're alone with your thoughts, and the silence feels unbearable. The shadow does not abandon you. It lingers, waiting for you to face it. And the longer you deny it, the more it shapes your life in ways you cannot control. Denial is seductive because it promises escape. It tells you that you can outrun your pain, that you can bury your grief, that you can avoid the parts of yourself you don't want to see. But escape is an illusion. The more you run, the more trapped you become. The anger you suppress doesn't fade, it erupts. The fear you ignore doesn't vanish, it festers. The sadness you bury doesn't heal. It grows heavier, dragging you down like an anchor tied to your soul. You feel the weight of denial every time you tell yourself, it's fine. Every time you push your feelings aside, convincing yourself they don't matter. Every time you settle for less than you deserve, because it's easier than facing the truth. Denial is not freedom, it is bondage. It is the shadow tightening its grip, reminding you that no matter how far you run, you cannot escape yourself. But denial isn't just a personal prison, it's a cycle. It shows up in every corner of your life, repeating the same patterns until you are forced to confront it. Think of the relationships you keep returning to, the ones that hurt more than they heal. Think of the way you second-guess yourself, doubting your worth even when you have every reason to believe in it. Think of the ways you sabotage your own happiness, holding yourself back from joy because some part of you believes you don't deserve it. These patterns are not coincidences. They are the shadow's way of speaking to you, of showing you where you are blocked, where you are wounded, where you need to heal. The longer you deny them, the more they repeat themselves, dragging you deeper into the cycle of suffering. To face your shadow is to break that cycle. It is to stop running, to stop numbing, to stop pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It is to look at yourself with brutal honesty and ask the questions you've been avoiding. Why do I keep ending up here? What am I running from? What am I so afraid to see? The answers will not come easily. They will rise like waves, crashing over you with a force that feels overwhelming. But in those moments, you must remember this. The shadow is not here to destroy you. It is here to free you. The weight of denial is heavy because it is unnatural. You were not meant to live in hiding. You were meant to live in truth, in light, in freedom. Every wave that crashes on the shore is a reminder that resistance is futile. The ocean does not stop moving because you wish it to. It flows as it always has, as it always will. And so does your shadow. It will keep calling to you, keep showing up in your life until you listen. Denial may feel safe, but it is an illusion. The safety it offers is shallow and fleeting, and it comes at the cost of your freedom. To deny your shadow is to deny yourself, to reject the parts of you that are crying out for healing. But to face your shadow is to reclaim your power. It is to look at the darkness within you and say, I see you. I hear you. I am ready to understand. When you stop denying the shadow, you begin to see it for what it truly is. Not a monster, but a guide. Not a curse, but a teacher. The shadow carries wisdom you cannot find anywhere else. It holds the truths you need to hear, the lessons you need to learn, the strength you need to rise. You cannot outrun the weight of denial, but you can choose to put it down. You can choose to step into the shadow, to face the truth, to break the cycle of suffering. It will not be easy, but it will be worth it, because on the other side of denial lies freedom, and in that freedom, you will find yourself. Your shadow is not your enemy. It is your key to liberation.